Alright, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about how to get a better score on your ASVAB test. You know, the best way to get the best score so you can get the best job that's available to you, which is extremely important because the job that you select will be the job you will be pursuing on a day-to-day basis for the next 3 to 8 years. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, now the number one tip I could give you, or anyone that wants to take the ASVAB test, or anyone who wants to join the military, is to make sure, you know, if picking your job is important to you, or if getting a signing bonus sounds interesting, you know, getting 20,000, you know, 10,000, up to $40,000 extra just for enlisting. You know, people enlist anyways, right? People enlist every single day. Basic training happens every single day, right? But if you want a signing bonus, or if you just want a job that interests you or excites you, this will be the number one tip I could offer you, and it's to take sample test. I will be linking it down in the description box below to sample test that you can take, and we'll be able to get your answers checked, you know, to see what questions you got right, what questions you got wrong. And these questions will be similar to the actual test you will see, or to the actual questions you will see on the ASVAB test, right? Not only will you understand, you know, the questions that may be asked, but you'll understand, like, you know, the layout and the types of questions that may be on the test, and you know, things that you may need to work on and stuff like that. So it's very important to get that insight, and also it will help you to relieve some of that anxiety, that stress, because many people just go in blind and then they freak out if they get a bad score, or they don't know what to expect and stuff like that. So it helps you familiarize yourself, you know, with the types of questions and things like that. So that's very important. That's the number one tip. You know, if you don't want to take an extremely long test, I will link 2 different versions. I think there's a short version of a sample test and a long version of the sample test. You know, if you have time on your hands, maybe the long one would be better. If you don't have too much time, then at least a short one. And like I said, this is just a suggestion. Like, you don't even have to take a sample test. If you just want to, like, go in and actually take the real test, so be it, right? I think that'll be like the best experience, you know, because I don't think anyone, or you might, you know, get a score that's, you know, good with you on your first try. It's just more so the higher score you get, the more jobs that's offered to you. So like I said, it's a suggestion. You can always take the real ASVAB test at your school or at a local recruiting office. Alright, now tip number 2, or suggestion that I could give you, is you know, study guides, right? So my last tip I gave was, you know, taking sample test and things like that. And let's say you do take your ASVAB, you went in person, took your test, you know, the real full test. Once you finish your test, you get your summary, and it's gonna have your scores for each category. There's 8 categories on the ASVAB test, and if you want to learn more just about the ASVAB in general, I'll link a video in the description, or not in the description, but in the cards in the corner, top left, top right corner. I always get it confused. I don't know which one's left or right, you know, when I'm editing, but like I said, it'll be in the cards. If you want to know more about the ASVAB test, what's inside of it, where to take it, is it important, stuff like that. But as far as getting a better score, once you do take the test, like I said, they're gonna have all the categories on the ASVAB test, you know, the 8 different subtopics, and you'll see how high you placed on each subcategory. So with this, if there's a certain, you know, subtopic, whether it's, you know, general science, right? Let's say you want a higher score in general science. Don't study for mechanical information, right? You don't need to study the whole test. Just study what you need to study and what you need to work on, because it's going to be less stressful, and you're more likely to get a higher score in that category if you just focus on just that, because if you pass the other ones, chances are you're going to pass it again, if not get a higher, you know, a higher score, because you know what the questions are, and you kind of, your brain's already firing, you already know what to expect and stuff like that. So like I said, if you want to be, a mechanic, just study the mechanical information part of the test. And another tip I could give you is to do that. There are study guides, and there's study guides for each subtopic, subcategory for each part of that test. So you can do a simple Google search, and I'll even do it on my own. I'll try to link some study guides down below in the description box, or to see if I can link to all of them. And maybe there's a site that has all of the study guides, but like I said, just study what you need to study, or what interests you. Not everyone's going to be a mechanic, not everyone wants to be a combat medic, not everybody wants to be an engineer, right? So just study what interests you, because that's really the only score that matters. And yeah, and the last final general tip I could give, or tips, these are just common things that people tend to forget about that could actually help you a lot, when taking the ASVAB test. And the first thing I would recommend is to relax, right? Don't take it too serious. You stress out and you start to panic, and you start to rush through your test, or you don't, just relax, right? Breathe. Realize that even if you don't get the score that you want, you can always retake it, right? And study, and you can retake it, get a better score. So never stress about not getting a high enough score, because you really don't know until you finish the test what your score is actually going to be. So like I said, relax, take your time, and read the questions carefully. And also, do not spend too much time on one question. Like I said, I don't know if it was this video, but the ASVAB test is timed. So in each subcategory, subtopic, there's a certain amount of time that your instructor will tell you that you have to complete, 5, 10, 20 questions. So whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it is timed, right? So do not spend too much time, focusing on one question. If it's multiple choice, cross out 2 of them and pick the best one out of the other 2. That's what I usually do. So yeah, don't spend too much time. And if you go through the whole section and you have time, go to that question you skipped and just answer it. So yep, so yeah, read carefully, use process of elimination, relax, and just don't spend too much time on one question, because that happened to me. I had like 5 questions I didn't get to answer because I was working out a math problem and I wanted to make sure the answer was right, and I took my time, I double checked my answer, I was doing all of this, stuff like that. And what's even worse is not completing the test, right? So it's okay to get one question wrong if you have a chance to answer 5 more questions, right? So that'll be my general advice. And yeah, that's all I have to get a better ASVAB score. I will link the sample test, study guides, and stuff mentioned in the video down in the description below. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button for me, please. I would appreciate it if you made it this far. And go ahead and comment any questions, video ideas, anything you want to know about the military or anything in general. I'll do my best to answer it. And if you made it to this far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's that big red button. Appreciate it, and more content like this will be put out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and have a good day or night. So yeah, peace.